Hi everyone, Jesse here with etrailer. Today we'll be taking a look at the Curt RVi Series 12-volt outlet kit. What this kit does is allows you to send power from the vehicle's battery to the inside of your vehicle through what we call a cigarette style outlet, which is going to give you the ability to charge a number of devices or power devices. We most commonly use it for portable braking systems on our flat tow setups. Here's where we connected to our positive post on our battery, and your kit will come with an inline fuse to keep everything protected. And as you can see, our battery on our Gladiator, or our neighbor's Gladiator, is over on the passenger side, and I needed power for their braking system on the driver's side inside the vehicle. So that's one thing I really like about this kit. It comes with a lot of wire. I didn't measure it exactly, but it gave me plenty. I actually bundled up a little bit of slack down here. It gave me plenty to go from our battery and hide our wires nice and neat and go inside our firewall into the driver's footwell. As you can see, our neighbor's Blue Ox Patriot comes with this power cable with the old cigarette style plug, which on a lot of modern vehicles, you're not going to have that style plug. Everything's going to be USB or USB-C. And even if you do have one, it's most likely not going to be on 24/7, which is something you need with a braking system because the ignition on the vehicle won't be on. But here's the end of our outlet kit here, and it's just going to plug in just like any of your classic cigarette style cords. It may say on the box or in the product description that this is for the Curt RVi Series braking system. It will work with those systems, but it's also pretty universal. As you can see, we used it with a Blue Ox Patriot, but it will really work with anything that needs 12-volt power and has that same style plug. If you have any questions or concerns about compatibility and you just want to make sure that it's right for your setup, feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to get you pointed in the right direction. There are a few other 12-volt outlet options out there, but in my opinion, this is the most well-built one. It has a modern fuse, whereas some of the other ones will have the older glass style fuse, which I almost always swap out anyways. And when it comes to the installation with this kit, it's a pretty simple process. The only thing you might run into some issues is running it through the firewall. On this Jeep, it's actually a pretty simple process. If you're not looking to install this yourself, check out our dealer locator. You can find someone local to you that would be happy to get this set up for you. If you are looking to see how this gets installed, then just follow along and I'll walk you through the process on this Gladiator. To begin our installation, we'll need to start out inside the vehicle with our outlet. And there's a nice convenient grommet on these Jeeps if you just use a flathead screwdriver, pop it out and then drill a hole so you can run any wires you need to through it. But then from there, we'll run our wires neatly over to the passenger side where our battery is. Now once we get it routed to our battery, we'll separate our black and our red wire. Our red wire is going to connect to our battery, but we will need to tie it into our fuse first. And then our black wire is going to be a ground, which conveniently over here, there's a few factory grounds that we can use. So we'll take that black wire and strip back just a bit of it. And we can crimp on our included ring terminal here. Slide that over and crimp it. And then I've been using this 10mm ground stud here for some of our other flat toe components, so I'll just slip that back off and slide our ring terminal down over that stud and reinstall the 10mm nut. Before we connect our inline fuse, just make sure you remove that fuse, and then we can strip back both ends. I already crimped on our ring terminal on the one end, and then on our red wire I also crimped on the included butt connector. We'll just make that connection there, and then we can connect it to the battery. Our connection to the battery, I'm just going to use this 10mm nut here that I'm once again using for some other flat toe components. So same thing as our ground, just take that nut off and slide your ring terminal over the stud and tighten it back down. Now we've made all of our connections, so we can plug our fuse back in, close the lid, and plug in our braking system. Now we're on the inside of our vehicle. We have our outlet here, and we're going to plug in our neighbor's Blue Ox Patriot. We can see we have a red light there, and that means we have full power. And we can plug in our braking system and turn it on just to make sure. I don't have it properly set up right now, but we're just testing for power. And there we go. Now that we know that we have power, all that's left is to clean up some of our wiring. And this kit doesn't come with a mounting bracket as opposed to some of the other kits, which on the Jeep is perfectly fine. I'd say as long as you have your wires cleaned up. When you're not using it, you can just simply tuck it back behind that panel and it'll be out of the way. You don't have to worry about it hitting your feet. And that's going to do it for our look at the Curt RVi Series 12-volt outlet kit.